Hi, how are you? Now, a while ago I started a series I called Growing Up, which was about my early childhood in the late 40s, 50s, and 60s. I completed about 4 chapters of that, and then I stopped. Didn't get many views, and I just kind of gave up on it. But I was looking at one of my favorite channels called Mess About One, and that channel is Richard Matthews, who lives in Alabama. It turns out he did the same thing. He started a series about his childhood, same years, late 40s, 50s and 60s, and then he stopped. But recently he just resumed his. So kind of inspired me a little bit to start mine again. Mess About One, Richard Matthews, his series is called Dixie Raising. And I'm going to leave a link down below because I think it's very interesting. He's excellent at remembering small details of his early childhood, and I find it very interesting because it coincides with when I grew up. But anyway, I'm going to start mine again. Hi, how are you? You know, when I started this series, I said my youth could be described in basically 3 movies: A Christmas Story, Stand By Me, and American Graffiti. This episode, we start the Stand By Me phase of my youth. In 1954, I was 12 years old. And of course, my friends and I were always looking for adventure. I read the Hardy Boys, and they were always in some kind of an adventure, you know, and I thought, man, we got to find something like that. So one day we decided it would be a great idea to go on a hike. We knew of a little town just a little bit south of us. At that time, I can't remember if we had any idea how many miles that town was from where we were, or how long it would take to walk there. In reality, it was 4.5 miles. We lived in Harvey. The town was Thornton, Illinois, and it was about 4.5 miles from Harvey. And honestly, as I say, I can't remember if we checked that or we knew that or what. But we decided to hike to Thornton, Illinois, because we had heard there was an Indian burial ground there, and you could find arrowheads. So one day, I don't know if we packed a lunch in a paper bag, or it's possible one of the guys might have had a Army surplus knapsack. Not sure about that. Somehow I know we must have brought some kind of food, probably more than likely just in a paper bag. And we started out walking toward Thornton. And one of the things I remember was a train trestle right near where we were going, which was the same thing that was in the movie Stand By Me. However, I don't believe we went up on top of the train trestle. I think we knew better than to do that. I think we were kind of under the train trestle, and off to the right was what we thought was the Indian burial grounds. So we headed off into there. Kind of spent the day there looking for arrowheads, digging around in the dirt. Didn't find anything, of course. For all I know, there was never an Indian near there. But we thought there was. So apparently one of us must have had a watch. We must have kept track of the time and figured how long it would take us to get back, because we did get back in time. I don't think our parents ever knew where we went. It was a great adventure for us, and that was only one of the adventures we went on.